Journey of a soul after death. When people we love and care about leave us, we suddenly go blank. A state of confusion begins. Where did the person who was with me until yesterday suddenly go today? This is why human death remains a mystery that even modern science has not been able to fully explain. In this video, I am going to show you, as if you are seeing it with your own eyes, what the soul sees from the moment a person stops breathing until they take rebirth on this earth. So, watch this video calmly until the end, without skipping the next 10 minutes. I am going to take you into the world of a deceased person. The soul's immediate reaction. First few minutes. After a person takes their last breath, the confused soul slowly rises out of the body and sits up. The soul is surprised to see their loved ones crying and running around in groups. Wondering who they are all crying for, the soul looks back and sees its own lifeless body lying on the ground for the very first time. The soul thinks, why does my body look like this? I must be having a nightmare. If I wake up, it will be fine, and tries desperately to get back into the body. Just as you would be terrified if you couldn't wake up from a nightmare of falling from a 50-story building. The soul experiences the exact same fear in the first few minutes after death. After trying for a while, the soul realizes that life is gone. From then on, it sits by the body, watches the people coming and going, and experiences unbearable grief. Days 1 to 3. Grief and final farewell. The soul then goes to its favorite place in the house and recalls its memories. It visits its loved ones, watches them closely and lovingly, and is tormented by not knowing how to leave them. For the first 2 or 3 days, the soul wanders around and witnesses its own final rites, watching the body it cherished and took pride in one last time. Day 4. Encounter with Yama's messengers. After the final rites are over, on the 4th day, the messengers of Yama, Yamadutas, appear before the soul. With red eyes and terrifying black bodies, they attempt to drag the soul away to Yamaloka, the abode of Yama, using a hook-like device. The terrified soul tries desperately to stay, but the heartless messengers of Yama, who know no compassion, start the journey to Yamaloka. Journey to Yamaloka, days. For souls who have performed good deeds, the Yamadutas do not act harshly, and the path is not difficult. However, for souls who have committed many sins, they have to travel through a terrifying path for 27 yojanas, approximately 243 miles, every day, from the 4th to the 10th day. The path includes obstacles like thorns, quicksand, sharp pebbles, mossy ground, iron needles, and ground covered in embers. By the end of the 10th day, the soul completes a distance of 189 yojanas. From the 4th to the 10th day, the soul experiences hunger and thirst. The Garuda Purana states that family members must offer pindam, ritual food offering, every day, or at least every 2 days, at the burial site or in the house where the person died. If the pindam is not offered, the soul continues its journey in great distress without the necessary energy. Day 11. Vaitarani River and Preta Sharira. On the 11th day, the soul reaches the terrifying Vaitarani River. For the soul to attain the Preta Sharira, a transitional body, a Pinda Pradhanam must be performed on the 11th day. If Pinda Pradhanam is not performed, the soul gets stuck on earth, unable to go to Yamaloka. It becomes a Preta Atma, ghost, that wanders around its house and the cremation spot, suffering and waiting for someone to offer pindam. Souls for whom the offering is made on the 11th day transform into the Preta Sharira and begin crossing the Vaitarani River. This river is horrifying, filled with pus, blood, bones, and flesh. Crossing is slow for souls who performed good deeds, but it is extremely terrifying for those who performed bad deeds. Souls with many sins in life may get stuck here, unable to reach Yamaloka, judgment and afterlife. On the same 11th day after crossing the Vaitarani River, the soul is presented in the court of Yama Dharmaraja. Chitragupta explains the sins and merits accumulated by the soul between birth and death. Based on this account, Yama Dharmaraja decides if the soul should go to heaven, Swargaloka, or hell, Narakaloka. Path to heaven, Swargaloka. If the soul is destined for heaven, angels themselves arrive in a celestial chariot to welcome the soul. The soul is given the opportunity to enjoy the fruits of the good deeds performed on earth. Path to hell, Narakaloka. If the soul is destined for hell, it is transferred from the Preta Sharira to the Yatana Sharira, body of suffering. This body has the senses of touch and pain. If it is thrown into a fire, it will feel pain, but it will not burn to ashes. The soul suffers various punishments in hell in this Yatana Sharira, waiting in pain for months and years for the term of its punishment to end. Path to Pitru Loka, world of ancestors. Souls who have an equal balance of sins and merits on earth, and whose family members perform the Shraddha, Karyams, and Pinda Pradhanam correctly after death, receive permission to enter Pitru Loka. Pitru Loka has neither the luxuries of heaven nor the pains of hell. Instead, the soul stays in one place peacefully, waiting for rebirth. The Pinda Pradhanam and Tarpanam, water offerings, performed every month by family members on the death date, become the soul's food. Without these, the soul does not find peace even in Pitru Loka. Rebirth, Punarjanma. The soul spends time in Swarga Loka, Naraka Loka, or Pitru Loka based on its deeds and the rites performed by its family. Once this time is over, the soul gets ready for rebirth on earth. The duration the soul spends in these worlds depends entirely on its sins and merits, which can be a few months or several years. However, to attain rebirth, family members must definitely perform the Samvatsarakam yearly ceremony after 360 days of death. Only souls for whom Samvatsarakam is performed are eligible for rebirth. Souls whose time is complete, but for whom Samvatsarakam is not performed, remain as Preta Atmas, wandering the house and cremation ground in hunger and pain. Final message. Finally, the message is this: do not dismiss these rites by saying, "It's all over after a person dies, and I'm too busy to follow these rituals." Set aside those words and be sure to follow the practices of Pinda Pradhanam and Shraddha Karyams for those who worked hard for you throughout their lives.